Hey there! You're listening to Amplify Your Legacy. This podcast is packed with insights and strategies to turn your passion into something that endures for generations. So get comfortable, stay inspired, and let's jump into today's episode with your host, Sallana Brown. Today, I'm sitting here with Linda Pernia, founder of HealthBridge Advocacy and Coaching. She brings over 30 years in healthcare and helping people face burnout. She empowers caregivers with support, advocacy, and through her Serenity Compass Method, she guides them from chaos to calm. So I want to welcome you, Linda, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay, I see that you help people find balance and confidence from one step at a time. Can you explain that a little more?
I actually suffered from burnout. So I went through and I knew when I did suffer burnout that what I needed at the time was everything. I needed somebody to guide me, to be there to help me. And there were the basic things I forgot, like taking care of myself so I could care for others better, balancing my career, my life, and my family. So those are the things that I developed through my program that I feel are really important for people, caregivers to have, particularly career-minded men or women who are sandwiched between children, career, and aging loved ones.
Yeah. Okay, so right now you're known for empowering caregivers through your method. But before you did all of that, give us a snapshot of what you did and what motivated you to go into this line of work.
So actually, I started out as a nurse, worked probably a good 10, 15 years. The luxury of nursing is you can work in so many different aspects, providing care and services. And then for the last probably 15, 20 years, I worked in management, running a major care facility in New York City. What made me go this route was when I suffered the burnout myself. I was a mother of four, sitting on the floor crying. My mother had cancer. My brother had cancer. I had just gotten notified from my boss that said, "What's going on? You've got to be present here. You can't be everywhere." I wasn't doing anything right. And sitting on that floor that day, I promised myself that if I survived this or thrived it, actually, it's what my goal was, that I would be there for others. So that had become my mission.
I love that story. Okay, so when you think about the word legacy, what does that mean to you when it comes to your life and your career?
So legacy is really important to me in the fact that I want my legacy to be my family to know that they need to be there for each other. So to leave that legacy for them, knowing that is one of the most important things, as well as showing them how to be part of caring for others. They took active parts in being there for their grandparents, taking them to the doctor's appointments, having them going with them for dinner. And to me, it's so important for children to be part of the process when you're a sandwich generation caregiver, because then they're not afraid of it. Not only do you build time with your family, you're building a legacy for those children to know a little bit more about their grandparents or whoever that loved one might be. And also the fact that someday they may be in that situation. But the biggest thing is to teach them that you don't need to sacrifice yourself to care for others, that you still need to take care of yourself too. So that balance.
Yeah, I love that balance. And I love how you put that because it's so important. Especially if you're trying to take care of others, you really have to put an emphasis on taking care of yourself.
The hope and impact I want on them is to realize that they need to take care of themselves. That's a priority, but also that they need to be aware of their parents' legacies and help their children be part of that legacy. For example, there are activities that I have my caregivers do with their children and their parents that teaches the children some legacy of where they came from through pictures. There's multiple ways that we do that.
Yeah.
And some of them will say, oh, went out with grandma and grandpa, had listened to war stories, because otherwise you don't hear about them. But unfortunately, the older generations take those stories with them, don't realize how impactful it is until it's too late. And that's the sad part when that's not shared in time, because it's so hard to retrace those memories and that legacy that belongs to each and every one of us.
Totally agree. Yeah. And I love that you're making a point of sharing that. What is the personal story or turning point that inspired you to dedicate your life to caregiver advocacy?
Being a nurse, you do that every day. You're advocating for your patients. You're advocating for the parents, for their families. I was in jobs that I experienced both. As a manager, I had to advocate for my staff, for my patients, for my doctors. As a nurse on the floor, I advocated for my patients. And the one problem is that the healthcare system is so difficult at this point to navigate. It's so challenging, frustrating. And I think sometimes as a result, people don't get the care that they deserve just because they don't know. They're intimidated by the doctors. They think those 15 minutes, that's it. If you don't get in what you need to say to that doctor in 15 minutes, then whatever the issue is that you're having isn't important, which is not true. And there's other ways to get around that.
So true.
That's something that I felt is really lacking in this country as far as advocates helping people navigate the healthcare system.
Correct. And burnout that you experience is really something many people face. It happens to so many of us. Can you share a challenge that, I guess, tested you deeply and how it shaped your approach to helping others?
My approach came over time, but what shaped me was what I initially had mentioned. It was one day when it felt like everything had gone wrong. And I'm sitting on the floor and I was like, I can push through. I can do this. I can be there for everybody. And that one day, it all finally hit.
Yeah.
And sitting on the floor, and I realized that the only one that it was that awareness. That's what made the difference for me. Finally, I had the awareness. Before that, I thought I could do it all and everybody was doing fine and I was doing a great job. And no, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Everybody was suffering at some point. And it was that awareness, which is one of the major things that caregivers need, is that awareness to be able to tune into themselves and be honest with themselves and say, I need help. Or I'm not feeling well. I need to start taking time for myself. And what it is that when you're a caregiver, a lot of times you're like, I need to go through. I have to. If I don't, I'm being selfish. If I spend an hour and go out to lunch with a friend, I'm being selfish. Everybody needs me. And you're not being selfish. You're protecting yourself. You're continuing with your identity to interact with people, because that's the one thing that happens when you burn out. You lose your identity.
Interesting.
You don't know who you are anymore. So that's one of the areas that I work on, is caregivers maintaining their identity. So they're not, my object or my vision is that caregivers do not sacrifice their well-being, career, or family in the process and avoid burnout.
I love that. Okay, so throughout all of your many years, who have been the biggest influences or mentors in your journey?
In a strange way, the first thing that comes to mind is my children.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, you just don't realize. And I think what I mean by my children is being my mentors. It's the way they see the world. with that freshness when they're young. And we lose that as we get older. And that, I think, is something everybody needs to remember. There's a child within all of us. And we always, no matter how bad the world gets, we always have to remember that inner child also.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so if you can leave our listeners with one powerful idea about caregiving, what would it be?
You need to prioritize time for yourself on a daily basis. As caregivers in the morning, you need to do a check. What do I have to do? What's a priority? What can I protect? What's a boundary that I can set for myself so that I'm not running in 5 different places and I ask for help? So there's like a lot of moments that caregivers should take to just take a breath, figure out where they are, and figure out who can help them.
I love that. Okay, so in caregiving, there are many myths. What is one misconception you'd love to clear up?
Oh, self-care is selfish. That's the easiest one.
Yes.
Self-care is selfish. Another myth is that you got to do it yourself. If not, people are going to think you're not a good person or, you're not capable. It's another myth, which none of which is true. And it's not like Caregivers has taught us that. It's just because when you're a caregiver, you have a certain heart.
Oh, yes, certainly. Okay, so for anyone listening who's caring for a loved one, what's one small action that they can take this week to ease their stress?
Take a shower and play music. That's one of the easiest things because music opens up the heart and takes you someplace where you've never been before.
Oh, totally agree. I love that. Simple, but everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it. And we forget music when we're a caregiver because we think, oh, we don't want to upset somebody or they're older. And you know what? When they're older, they love their music and you can never not play. That was one of the things my father used to love, who had Alzheimer's. We would play music and you'd see a different part of him. So music is a universal language, even when you can't speak.
So true. Okay, so looking ahead, what's the next project or dream you're excited to bring into the world?
I'm actually doing a live event, but I really want to get on some large stages so that I can help a larger group of caregivers because I want them to understand that there's 3 important areas that they need to avoid burnout. And they need the awareness to know that they can take care of themselves, that it is allowed. They need to accept that. And then they need to take action. They need to figure out what tools they need so that they can care for themselves while caring for other ones and managing their career and their family. Sure. It's not just about self-care for the caregiver. It's also about time management. Do you do that well? Do you set up boundaries? Do you relationship with your children? Do you incorporate them in a process to help your family or let them know how you're feeling and what support they need? Corresponding with your husband or wife, whatever it might be. But everybody is in a different spot and needs different support. Sure, so if I can get a general message out to everybody and just make them aware, that is so important because then at least once you're aware, you can think about it and then continue the process and reach out to get the support that you need.
Finally, if you can capture your legacy in one word, what would it be and why?
My legacy is my family. That's my legacy.
Love it. Linda, thank you so much for joining me today. Let our listeners know how they can connect with you.
Everybody can reach out to me. I have a website, Health Bridge Advocacy and Coaching, on Instagram, Coach Linda, and Facebook also under my business name. So would be happy to hear from anybody. I'm always available.
Amazing. Thank you, Linda, once again for sitting down and chatting with me. I
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much for having me.
I'm Sallana Brown, and this is the Amplify Your Legacy podcast. Until next time, keep telling your story and keep building the legacy that only you can create. Bye-bye for now.
That's all for this episode of Amplify Your Legacy. A huge thank you for listening in today. I hope today's conversation has sparked some reflection on your own legacy. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram at Sallana Brown. And visit sallanabrown.com for more resources on growing and preserving your legacy. Be sure to leave a rating or review. It helps others discover the show. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with inspiration and actionable strategies. Until next time, keep amplifying your legacy.